Oh, it feels good. It feels really good. What's going on, guys? It's JSGC here, and City won against Manchester United in the Manchester derby at Old Trafford 2-1, so let's get on with it. So, any Man United fans that are wondering, I'm not going to rub salt in any wounds here. I'm just going to go over my opinions and facts and try and be as unbiased as I possibly can. It's a Manchester derby, though, so please lay easy there, but I'm going to try and make this as fair as possible. So, let's talk with some facts first. 11 points clear at the top of the Premier League table. 16 games in, 11 points clear. A bad week for Man United, for Arsenal, for Chelsea, for Liverpool, all dropping points. Tottenham the only one picking up a win, and you know, they're miles behind City at the moment, so we don't have to concern ourselves at the moment with Tottenham. Amazing. It's been a fantastic week. Let's move on. So City didn't actually play the best here. We did play very well. I'm going to add that. We did play some good football at times, and we did everything how we wanted to, but in terms of chances created, there wasn't a lot there. I've seen Man City be a lot more creative and a lot more dominant in games this season. This wasn't a Liverpool performance or a Chelsea performance that we've had previously this season. This was just Man City turning up, doing what Man City do, and you felt like it was a tactical game, a Pep versus Jose. We play our way, you play your way, we come together, who wins, and Pep's come out on top, and that does feel good. Now, I felt that we didn't play our best, and I thought Man United didn't play the best either. United were missing Fellaini and Pogba. That's not an excuse. Pogba got himself sent off with a rash challenge. Fellaini didn't make it back because that would have made a big difference with the aerial challenges, which I'll get later to with the stats. But it did make a difference there. Man City missing Benjamin Mendy obviously can't play, so we ended up having Fabian Delph at left back because we didn't sign a left back other than Mendy. Also, Aguero was on the bench and was also missing a couple other players too. John Stones probably being one of them that probably would have played in this game, but there you go. Unfortunately for Man United, they had Lukaku on the pitch and he was just bad. Assisted 2 Man City goals near enough. Both his mistakes really for both goals. Just a bad game all round for Romelu Lukaku, and a lot of Man United fans jumping on his back. So if I was Man United with Lukaku, I'd probably leave him up top rather than try and rely on him defensively. You want to rely on him to score goals and be in the right place at the right time, and unfortunately he just looks so much out of his depth and so run down on confidence. Man United spent a lot of money on Lukaku as well, so Man United fans, leave in the comments what you think you could do to try and turn Romelu Lukaku into a striker that should be participating in a team that is second in the league at the moment. Do you think should replace him? Should we play Ibrahimovic? Should you try a different system? I don't know. Leave in your comments what you think. But with Man City, they made mistakes in this game too, just like Lukaku. Man City were punished just like Lukaku was as well. So it was a very even game in terms of mistakes happening and passes going astray and stuff, and making the most of your opportunities for both sides, really. So it was an even game there. And one big difference as to why Man City won this game is just due to Ederson's double save right near the end. I'm not sure if it's on YouTube or not, but watch the match highlights and you'll see Ederson's brilliant double save. The ball gets played in superbly by Mata. Martial puts it, lays it on a plate for Lukaku, and I said his lack of confidence. He had to score. He just smacks it right into like the throat and chin of Ederson, and then Ederson on the rebound pulled off an amazing save. He just leaps himself at it and saves, and it's just a wonderful, wonderful save, and a brilliant goalkeeper, proving how good Ederson has been. And I'll get round to a bit more in the game's detail in a moment. I thought Mangala was fantastic when he came on. So dominating in the area, he's just like a beast. He looks like a different player. He needs to get Man City back in his Twitter bio. Not just football player for Manchester City. Because at the moment Mangala carries on like this, he'll be getting himself a fair few games for us over the coming weeks, with John Stones still not back for another couple of weeks. Mangala, this is your opportunity. I thought David Silva was fantastic in this game. I've given him my man of the match. I could have given it to Ederson. I could have given it to Otamendi. I could even have given it to Mangala because he was that good in my opinion. I gave it to David Silva because he was pulling strings and controlling tempo like he always does, and does what David Silva does, and plus he managed to bag himself a goal too. So we're going to go through that. First goal did come up, corner comes in. I think it was Kevin De Bruyne who put the ball in. Lukaku, under pressure from Otamendi, ends up like leaning forward, not winning an aerial challenge, just chesting it down. David Silva can't be offside because it's come off Lukaku and just places it right past David De Gea with no chance. Now, I could be critical of David De Gea, saying could he come met the ball, but again, it's not really his fault that he didn't. It all happens all of a sudden. David Silva was there, right place, right time, 1-0. And then, I mentioned the Man City mistakes, and they got punished, just like Man City punished Man United. Ball comes in, Otamendi misses the header. Fabian Delph came out in his interview later saying he thought Otamendi would win the header. Otamendi steps forward, and then it ultimately leads to Fabian Delph kind of getting himself in a little bit of a mess. Ends up hitting his like knee and thigh area rather than making a clearance, and hits it straight into Rashford's path. Ederson comes in running at an angle, which is a big mistake here because he's running in at an angle this way, and the ball just gets placed past him by Marcus Rashford. Good finish. 1-1. That came in the 47th minute, or should I say the 45th minute, with 2 minutes added on into the 4 minutes of injury time that there was. Also, Leroy Sané and De Bruyne could have linked up better earlier in the play to cut that out. So about 3 or 4 mistakes ultimately led to that goal. Disappointing. More mistakes. Ball comes in again from a free kick, I think it was, and it ends up getting cleared by Lukaku, who just boots it dead low down straight into Chris Smalling's back. Otamendi's there to meet it. Again, De Gea hesitates, stays on his line, and Otamendi fires past him. If he came out to meet it like Ederson, maybe he could have made a save, maybe he couldn't, we'll never know. But I didn't really see that mentioned. I felt like maybe he could have. He didn't, he kind of hesitated, stayed on his line, and ends up leaving the whole goal for Otamendi and Silva to aim at. Ends up making it 2-1. Now, 2 controversial moments. Gabriel Jesus in the first half did some very good dribbles and very good with the ball at his feet. Goes around 2 players, no contact, goes down, wants a penalty. Referee doesn't give a penalty, doesn't give a free kick either, doesn't get booked for diving. It was a dive, there's my own bias. It was a dive, he should have been booked. So if the FA end up having some retrospective action on him, then you can't moan. But I'm not sure if it influenced the game or not. Herrera wasn't as much of a dive, it was more of a made the most of something that wasn't really there. Otamendi comes in with, because he'd miscontrolled the ball. Herrera then tries to join in on that. He's looking for contact. He puts it. Otamendi ends up getting to the ground first, and when they're both up like that, this is Herrera, ends up meeting it here. He's, they're not making contact here, so his foot just trails here. They make contact like that, and then flies himself to the ground looking for a penalty. It weren't a dive, in my opinion. It just wasn't a penalty. That's my opinion. I'm trying to be as unbiased as possible here. But there you go. So I want to have a look, actually, at some of the match stats. Because Jose Mourinho, something he said really annoyed me. And he said he blamed the penalty as to why Man United didn't pick up points. And I just want you to go over, I want to go over these stats as to why Man United didn't end up picking points or winning this game. And this is why. And Pep Guardiola said that City dominated. And he was right. 65% possession for Man City compared to Man United's 35%. They're the home side Man United in this game, and they've been absolutely outplayed with the ball. Man City have had nearly twice as many shots. 14 shots they ended up having in this game, Man City, compared to Manchester United's 8. That's 6 more shots than them. That's a lot over a game. They ended up having more shots on target. Man United, over a percentage, had 5 shots out of 8 on target, and City had half of theirs, 7 out of 14, but still more shots on targets. Man City made more blocks in this game. Man City made more passes. They ended up making 606 passes, an 82% pass succession rate, compared to Manchester United's 325 at 69% completion rate. Nearly double the amount of passes that Man City attempted compared with Manchester United. They're getting outplayed here. That's what we're talking about here. Also, more key passes Man City ended up having. They ended up having more corners. They ended up making more dribbles. They ended up conceding less fouls. They ended up making less saves for Ederson to do. Didn't have as much to do, which makes the double save even more impressive. They ended up having a better aerial duel percentage as well, which shows that Man United's hoop ball, it weren't really working. Man City were dealing with it. The only thing Manchester United had on Man City in this was they ended up making more interceptions and more tackles in the game. They were negative, they were too negative, and they never went at Man City. And because of that, it ended up suiting Man City. There was space in and around for them to work with. And in the end, Man City didn't even need to be clinical. They didn't even have to have many shots. It all came because Lukaku presented chances on a plate, 2 of them to Man City. They're always going to put them every day of the week. So for Manchester United, moving on from here, they need to just win the game to make sure they make themselves as much of a threat as possible towards the top. Got to win the games in doing that. I'm sure top 4 is the priority, as it is for all the top 6 clubs at the moment. They want top 4. For Man City, they're just going on leaps and bounds. We're looking at Swansea away, where the record can be broken for the most successive wins out of any team split over any of the seasons, out of anyone during the Premier League era. So Swansea away, that is, that comes on Wednesday night. So I'll be previewing that. So we'll be looking towards that record now. All in all, though, fantastic performance from Man City. Not at the best, but very good. Manchester United thinking, what could have been, what could they have done? Was it a penalty? Was it that? Was it this? Was it that? Could they have done this? And in the end, they ended up missing Pogba and Fellaini a lot in this game, because that would have made the aerial duels a lot more competitive and more physical, which is something Man City have struggled with. So moving forward for Manchester United, just got to win the games, focus on the next game, take it game by game, which is what we're doing with Man City. So we'll take you to the next game in a preview that will be up tomorrow. So don't forget to check that out. Check out my social media in the description below. Leave a big thumbs up if you like the video. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. It's been JSGC. Hope you all have a wonderful day. Peace. Ciao for now.